Hi, thanks very much for clicking on the video link. This is an idle chat for the American Bar Association Section for Dispute Resolution. My name is Natalie, and this is Stanley. How are you, Stanley?
I'm fantastico.
Excelente. Stanley, are you ready for an idle chat with me?
Always ready. You got to be stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So let's go.
Right? Now, because we've known each other, back and forth acquaintances, conferences, etc., for years and years, you asked me if we could change up the format for this idle chat. And And I said, absolutely. I generally promise my guests that there will be no mediators harmed in the filming of an idle chat. I do now expect that favor to be returned upon me and that no marketers are hurt in the filming of an idle chat because you and I are going to trade back and forth asking each other questions.
Mm, yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, here we go. What is the best dessert ever invented?
That was my first question. No, no. Oh, all right. The best dessert ever invented. Oh my God. I'm weird. Bread pudding. It is my favorite a la mode, and I like vanilla's fine, but when you can find that Haagen-Dazs rum raisin ice cream, it is. I mean, I'm going through a wall for that. I'm going through a wall. It's gonna be a problem.
Kool-Aid Man style.
Yes.
All right, next question, Stanley. Um, on your playlist, maybe you've got more than one playlist. When maybe there's a drive playlist, a workout playlist, calm yourself down at the end of the night playlist. I'll let you choose the playlist, but choose your playlist and then tell me what is your favorite song on your favorite playlist.
Um, that's it's very hard. I believed a long time ago I was a musician, quite many decades ago, and I love music, all genres of music. I grew up on music from my Caribbean parents, and I just like all genres. So it's hard to say what kind of playlist, but let's just say on a regular day, um, it would be something that is like inspiring of me. So maybe, believe it or not, classical music. I love classical music, Bach, Beethoven, something like that. But then it'll switch over to like something like get ready for this, Michael Jackson's Ben. Something about that song is just like it gets to me. Maybe it's his voice. In the song, it's like people, the rat, the Ben, not understood, but he loves him and he wants to share him with the world, and it's about being misunderstood, and these things can get worked out with the right people around you, and it's kind of like, yes, yes, I want to be that person. I don't want to be Ben, but someone that can help Ben out. So like that. Or I love heavy metal. So it might be some heavy metal something from like Metallica, like Metallica. Wow. Then Paul McCartney too. So I just it just depends on what I'm doing. My workout playlist is completely different. It'll just be some hardcore music that has a very fast hot beat. That's pretty much it.
Well, from the love song of Ben to Enter the Sandman.
Yes. Exactly. The puppet master. Exactly.
So, all right, my shoulders are squared. I am ready, sir. Ask a question.
So if I had a beard, I would stroke it. But I don't have one. So what's your favorite sandwich? And describe building that sandwich.
My favorite sandwich is from a deli in Santa Monica, California, Froman's Deli, and they build a sky high turkey breast sandwich with crispy bacon, Russian dressing, coleslaw, and a marbled
Ooh,
rye bread, and
nice.
fresh cracked black pepper and a little chili flakes on it to kick it all together. Best sandwich.
Holy smokes. All right. Nice, nice, nice. I never asked anyone this question before, but you inspired me. You inspired me. Let's say you were the star of a sitcom. What would be the name of your sitcom? Go.
Oops, I did it again. Stanley, I know that to a lot of people, I appear to have it together and maybe even a personality for somebody who's at least 5'3". I am not either of those things. I can fall over putting on my pajama pants. So, yeah.
That was my two. Your go.
All right. Uh, Next question. When it's time for a vacation, do you prefer the beach or the mountains?
Again, I gotta split myself in half. Um, I go to the beach quite often, even after, let's say, days of mediation or one of my 5-day training programs to become a mediator. The next day, that day 5 and day 6, when there's no more class, I will be at the beach. I will be either ride my motorcycle there, let the wind go through my hair, you know, or I will let the top down sunroof off as I drive, 15 miles to the beach and just vegetate, and just relax for those at least 2 or 3 hours. So I love the beach, but then again, something about God's creation and the world and the mountains and what built those mountains and what's in those mountains. Something beautifully picturesque is about that too. So, if I had to choose and I had to only have one for the rest of my life, that's it. Then definitely probably the beach, because the beach it captures all that. Also, the mystery of the beach. We know more about space, don't know how, but we know about more about space than we do about our oceans. That's fascinating to me.
I agree. Sir, what is a book that you recommend to everybody you encounter?
A book. Oh my God. Well, I want to. I'm gonna cheat and tell you two books real fast. One, the Bible. The Bible. I really do think that although there's some debates I have with some religious friends I have, and of all different religions, about 5 different religions. So I think the Bible is one thing, but also there's a book by um, Douglas Noel called "De-Escalate," which I'm a fan of Douglas Noel. He's a high-end attorney out of California that saw the light and took extra training in conflict analysis resolution. Very different than just taking a 40-hour program and saying, I'm a mediator. He actually invested a lot into getting into the process of what mediation and ADR is. So he's different. And there's very few attorney-mediators or jurist-mediators that understand that, and what he's done in his 30 plus career, as a advocate turned true, I call them true mediators. Yeah, it's different. And he has a book called De-Escalate. It's just one, where again, this is all social science stuff. So if you go into a conflict resolution program, you'll learn this master's level, certificate level, PhD level. But most don't take that investment. It's just a lot for most people. But if you do that, you'll learn these techniques in there. But I like his book. It's a nice, very well written book, for anyone, a practitioner, or those who want to get into just how to de-escalate. And one of my fortes as a family mediator, a certified mediator, a family circuit, county, doesn't matter, is learning how to not just mediate to their positions, but mediating to their interest. So there's some techniques I've been using for a while, since jumping into mediation space in 1997, that I use often to de-escalate people and to bring them to the table and want to really negotiate honestly and transparently, which is not easy. But if you know some of that Jedi stuff that you can learn from, like, Nova Southeastern University, DCAR, which we both came from, right? You can learn these things. So, mhm.
He's remarkable. All right, your turn, sir.
Right? Trapped on a deserted but fruitful island. What 3 items would you want to have with you? Deserted, fruitful island.
I would want a gassed up helicopter on the beach ready
Oh,
to
you know
take
what? My
me
bad,
home.
my bad, my bad, my bad. I forgot who I was with. There's gonna be some rules for you know who you are. There's gonna be some rules. You can't have another human living thing, so no doggies, no cats, and also don't do the gas helicopters and the boats. Don't do that. Come on. You know what I want. I want some castaway stuff. Okay, so so nothing like that.
Okay, since I'm so severely limited now in my ability to be creative. Um, Sunscreen. Can I have sunscreen?
Yes, of course, sure.
Sunscreen. I would want some sunscreen. I would want um a well-stocked Kindle so that I could just read and read and read and read and read and read and read. Um, and I think I would want, if I can't have my people with me, I would want to have a digital photo album so that I could look on the faces of the people that I love.
That's nice. That's so sweet. Oh, that's so sweet. All right, good. Okay. Now this question, I was not. I don't even feel. I don't know how why I'm asking this question, but I really want to get deep on it real fast. I'm gonna just let's submerge a little bit. Okay. If you can have dinner, a table. I don't care if it's 10 people, 20 people, one person. Name the people you'd want to have dinner with in history, in life. Who would be at your dinner table, your ultimate dinner party? Name people, and you can just name one person, or you can name 15. Just who would be part of this dinner party that you can send the invitation in time, and like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, right, and bring them back. So have at it. Family member, someone in history. Name the people. I don't care. Again, 5, 10, whoever it may be. Who would you want to have dinner with?
I so I think I would start with bringing back my great grandparents. I had all of my great grandparents when I was little, and
Oh,
because I was little, I did not know the value of their stories and experiences. As an adult, I would like to be able to have them at a dinner so that I could chat to them about what it was like to have been born, in the 1800s and see the world changed into cars and electricity and vaccinations and fax machines and ATMs and then the internet. I would want to talk to them about their experience. Then historical figures, I think I would want to invite one of the great Khans.
as far
Gang,
as the people or cons, meaning a con artist.
no, like Genghis Khan, explorer.
Wow.
So I think Genghis Khan would be on my list. Oh, I would want Alexander the Great only because I want to talk to him about that library that he built. Uh, I would want to talk to, because I live in Normandy, France most of the time. I would like to talk to Rollo, the Viking that convinced the French king to give up all of northern France. I want to sit in on that negotiation, or I want to be able to ask him, how did he negotiate with one of the wealthiest countries on the planet to just give up 30% of their country? I want to know what that negotiation looked like.
You know who Rolo is? I'm interested. I gotta do some research myself. Rolo, Viking.
Viking
Okay.
king. Yep. Um, I would. There's a handful of really interesting characters in the world that I would like to chat to. Um, there's a few that I think I would not invite. I would definitely invite Oscar Wilde. Oh, and I'd put him to my right hand because he and I would be those naughty kids at the back of the class or back pew in the church, giggling and having fun. And yeah, I'd have Oscar Wilde right here. Let's see, when you were, oh no, I'm not going to limit you. Either from your childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, well into adulthood. What's your favorite toy?
A little brother. No, 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 no. Sorry, mom. My mom's sorry, mom.
I'm
um,
telling, I'm telling.
although my mom has a story that when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I used to steal change that I found in different spaces or places or behind, the sofa, and I used to give her pennies at least every week. Can you please buy me a brother? Can you please buy me a brother? And I would always ask her for a brother. 8 years later, she bought me a brother, and then 10 years later, I asked for a refund. I did.
Because you know,
Okay, favorite toy. My favorite toy in my childhood. I don't remember this toy, but when I think about this toy, it brings me the fondest of memories. I don't know why. This one, this donkey, this plush donkey that had a little, I guess, a music box in it, and when you played it or when you turned it, it would play what now I know to be Farrelly's, which is one of the very first concert songs that I used to play when I learned to play the piano. And it really is just, I just remember my fondest memory of my mother, my mom, my aunt that was babysitting me, and they'll like tap me on my butt or spank me for not going to bed, and they'll just shove that donkey under my arm and turn it, and I'll just be quiet. I'll be quiet. And it just was very nice. It just soothed me. I recall that. And I remember when we finally moved from wherever we were when I was born, which was Manhattan, Coney Island, I think, too, to Queens, another part of Queens. I remember looking for it, and I remember I was 5 years old because my sister was born, my younger sister after me, and I was looking for it, and she had it, and I was so mad. And my mother told me it's no longer yours; it's for her. So that was probably, and I don't know where I got it from. Maybe my dad or my mom won it at Coney Island, and I have no idea. But that's the fondest memory of a toy that I really always desired. Okay.
very sweet story. I half expected you to say your motorcycle.
No, although I have pictures of being 3 years old and being on a little one, and I always had a dream about owning one until I was old enough. And my mom didn't stop me, and I got one.
There you go. What is your favorite room in your house and why?
Favorite room in my house would have to be the living room area because that's where my video PlayStation game is, my VR, my piano is there, and I have close to 30 board games. So I love playing board games with my kids or whoever comes by. So it might be a game of life, it might be a game of Monopoly or Clue. I have the different versions of Clue. I love Clue. I have I got Jenga. Uh, I have a lot of different board games that people just come over and they're like, "Oh my god, that's cool," and we just start playing. So I would say my family living space area.
Oh, that's a nice space. Your turn.
Can I ask you two more questions, or do we have
You
time?
betcha. Yeah.
Okay. If you can call young Natalie from 40, 50, or your younger years on the phone right now, you have 5 minutes to talk to young Natalie, what would you tell her?
Love many, trust few, paddle your own canoe.
What is that for? Did you make that up, or that sounded too poetic?
It's it's a tattoo that I have on my arm, uh, just to remind myself, and it's written in my dad's very specific handwriting. The other thing I would always recommend to my younger self is the idea of Safrosine, everything in moderation. The other thing I would remind her of is you got this. You got this. There's no reason to self-doubt. You're okay.
One more, not one more. I got plenty, but I'm interested in your response to this. I don't know why I'm still frozen, but that's a good thing. Anyway,
That's
um, we have. They say we have five senses. I think we have more than that, by the way, but they say we have 5 senses. If you can enhance any of your senses, only one, which sense would you want enhanced, and why?
I do wear glasses, but I've grown to be okay with my level of blindness. I am a mom and a grandmother. My hearing is fantastic. My sense of touch is quite good. Um, my sense of smell, I've broken my nose more than a handful of times over the years. It still works. I think, Stanley, I would want to enhance that, the sixth sense, the gut feeling, the instinct, the thing you can't quite define when you meet someone or you're in an environment, or I would want that sixth sense to be heightened and more clear with me in what it's trying to communicate, not just
So you
an
want your spidey
iffy.
senses, your spidey
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I want more of that.
Okay, okay, okay. I gotta ask you one more question. I got to, please.
Sure.
Yes, if you can be reset right now, like clap your hands and be reset, would you rather, when you regain consciousness, would you rather know everything or know nothing?
I think that knowing everything might actually be more painful. I like knowing a lot, and I'm a very curious cat. So my favorite place to be is in a library because I have questions and I need to know. Um, I think there is a I think there is a gift in ignorance because then you don't know. Now I'm going to go with I want to know everything, Stanley. I want to know. I can't stop
You
it. I want.
sure? Are you sure? Can you handle it?
No,
It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility.
I don't know that I could handle it, but I still want to know. It
Okay.
might break
All
me,
right.
but I still want to know. If I knew everything, then I could explain the breakage.
Ooh. Okay, I like that. Okay, okay. All right. I dig it. I dig it. One more question, and it has to be an impactful question. Okay. Um, what animal? What's your favorite animal? Like what's an animal that when you see it just almost puts you in awe, in a state of awe? And give me 3 adjectives to describe that animal. Doesn't have to. Don't feel the pressure like it has to be exotic. It can be a house cat. Whatever. Just what animal just really sends you.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a house cat, and that's the most useless roommate. Um, I think I would go with an Arabian horse.
An Arabian horse.
Yeah, the the elegance, the grace, combined with the power, the strength, the speed. And an Arabian they're generally, stereotypically, um, fine with us, but what they really want is to just be let alone, to go do what they are naturally born to do.
And then, of course, now master's, PhD studies in conflict resolution. I know there's a science behind it. I care about your response because oftentimes when people respond to questions like that, definitely an animal, it's an insight as to how they feel they see themselves. They feel they see themselves. So from that, the power you have, Miss Natalie, the grace, the let me alone. I am constrained, but if you give me what I want, I will be all over enjoying and receiving and just yes, that's what I want to do. So I don't know if that's true or not. You tell me, is it true?
That is a very fair assessment. Yes. So my husband likes to remind me that a lot of my personality revolves around a single letter, the letter F. And there's, in my opinion, there's um, a, a big difference between being let alone versus being left alone. I really don't care for the F. I don't like being left alone,
Hmm.
but I cherish being let alone.
You're so poetic. Do you write poetry?
I never given it a shot. Um, Tell me what it is that you love most about the work we do in the resolution industry. It's inspirational or it's motivational, it's practical or pragmatic, however you want to phrase it. Tell me what you love most about the work that we do.
Hmm. Good question. I actually am about to publish a short, very short. I don't want to call it a paper. I'll say a reaction to a friend of mine who wanted some pre-mediation consulting guidance tips, and in writing this long encyclopedia text message to him, then I told him, you know what, let me email you instead. I turned that email into an article that I'm probably going to publish on LinkedIn in the next day or so, because in explaining it to him. He's a very intelligent guy. He's a businessman. He's quite wealthy. He's been through mediations, nothing like what he was going through when he contacted me, but he has had, 4 or 5, interactions with mediation the last 10 or some odd years. But this one was very different to him, for him. I realized what in writing this, I not realized it, but I just, put it back into into the forefront as to why I do what I do. And I feel pretty guarded. If you read some of the things I write, I really feel guarded about the process. It is something truly special and magnificent, and it offers people things that I don't think any of the other ADR processes offers. It really offers an opportunity for empowerment, to really figure, whether there's 12 lawyers on one side, and I've done those 300, $600 million case and $30 million case, whatever it was, or even those that were very minuscule in dollar amount, small claims cases, to bring people to the table and let them and show them through my behavior, through my approach, that yes, the legalities of certain instances and positions are very important, but what's more important is your interest. Where are you with not just this conflict, but with that relationship where there was a communication breakdown. So when I do my 40-hour course, I mean, people that have taken it are like, you get deep in it. And I'm like, I think you should be. Our very first rule in Florida, anyway, 10.200 speaks on it, right? And the next few rules, 10.210, does say something like, you know, your job is to reduce the barriers of communication, reduce the barriers. The second part of that compound sentence is help them identify their issues, not identify it for them, but help them. And that's where most of the people that are very litigious and former judges get it wrong. They think their job is to, here's where you went wrong, here's where they went wrong. It's not about that. Sorry, it's not only about that. And the third part of that extended long sentence of that particular rule says explore alternatives. So we are in an exploratory path on figuring out what they truly want. We know what they want when we read their complaint and read their answer, but what do they really want? What's their wants? And then after you get their wants, guess what's next? Um, Natalie, the real thing. What do they need? That's different. That's going to be different than a want. What do they need? And then, of course, what's their walk away? What you want? What do you need? What is your walk away? And I get people to, maybe I know some Jedi stuff that all ethical, of course, that get people into a space where they feel comfortable, hopefully, to relieve themselves of all this pressure and give that to me. And my job, hopefully, if I've done it well, and hopefully they'll sense that through my orientation opening, everything is confidential, we say in private, but what can I share? And they trust me to share what they need for me to convey in a manner that's not, let me rush them to a settlement, but let me help them explore what you want. So empathy is the height to me of what mediation is. If you're a good mediator, you understand it. Yes, some areas of law, definitely technical, is very litigious. I'm not going to say it's for every area of litigation that you eventually have to mediate. But in a high majority of these mediations, when you can find the person that can speak the legalese, but also more importantly, the peopleese, speak to what their wants and needs are to get her done, whatever get her done means. Get her done might be, let's impasse it, because that's the best way to resolve it for that day. Agree to disagree, but they will definitely learn something. So it's being exploratory, learning about the process, but more importantly, what do they want and need? So what there's not just one thing I like about the process, it's just different. And because we have people that like yourself, and I know others out there too, like we mentioned Douglas Knowles, and there's some great former judge mediators who get it, former litigators who get it too, and they go deeper beyond just what the law is. They make it work. People leave, it's almost cathartic sometimes. So that's what I like, is being able to help people get into a different space and leave these walls of, I call it the sword and shield approach to conflict, as opposed to what I hope to give them, which is the bridge and brick approach. Okay, let's
Perfect.
build something different. Let's see what the commonalities are. Let's see what we want to get. And when I hear those, either family, I got a family case coming up where it's like, oh, it's never going to settle. I'm like, well, it didn't settle the last 2 times of this 5-year divorce because you kept on focusing on the rights, the duties. That's important. Let the judge or jury decide that. At mediation, let's find out what they need to get to co-parent better. So it's not, so let's create value for everyone. That's different. So I did say that in my trainings and in mediation. Mediation about value creation, litigation, rights, and duty claiming. But in mediation, we can really do something different. And that's
I
why,
love that. Yeah.
long explanation, hopefully I got it. And my PhD teacher would tell me, if you can't do it quickly, you don't know what you're talking about.
Clarity and brevity, right?
Right.
Uh, so my friend Stanley, if somebody wants to reach out to you and learn more about what you do or how you do it, or just ask questions about the resolution industry, what's the best way for somebody to find you?
Oh, they could, well, yeah. From what I've recently learned, they can Google me and a bunch of things come up. Stanley, Stanley, Zamor, Zamor, mediator. And a few things do come up that they can definitely contact me. I actually mediate through a group called Salomon and Dulberg. I love being there, great people, and just that would be the best place. Or they can always reach out to me on my numbers, my cell number. I don't care if they have it. I get called all day, even on Sunday sometimes. 954-261-8600. And that's the best ways. I mean, as soon as they type in Stanley, I mean, is only one of me I heard on online. In fact, it's funny. Recently, I got contacted for some HOA cases and a construction litigation case, and I asked them, "How'd you learn of me?" Because it was the parties calling me, not their lawyers. And they go, "Oh, I just Googled you and asked Chat GPT, or I asked Gronk, or the AI told me to look you up." I'm like, "Really? Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of cool." I hope I didn't lie and say something wrong, because there's some things I will not do. I will not do certain things, but definitely. So that's the best way. Stanley Zamor online. Just look for me online, and they'll find it, or call my cell.
Perfect. Stanley, thank you so much for being willing to have an idle chat with me, but also being creative enough to suggest we switch things up a little bit. That was a lot of fun. Thank you.